Meet Joel Hollendorfer. For over a decade, his name sat at the center of a mystery that haunted investigators and a grieving family: the disappearance of a 19-year-old girl named Kara Nichols. Kara's life wasn't an easy one. She started using drugs in high school and struggled with addiction for years. By 17, she had begun escorting to get by. But despite everything she was going through, Kara had dreams. She wanted to model, and she was working toward it. Then, on October 9th, 2012, she walked out the door and never came back. She told her roommate she was heading to Denver for a job. That was the last anyone saw of her. Her father reported her missing, and police got to work, chasing lead after lead, fielding witness sightings that would eventually all turn out to be dead ends. At one point, an unidentified woman was even named a person of interest, but nothing stuck. Almost immediately, though, one name kept coming up: Joel Hollendorfer. Records showed he had hired Kara as an escort before, and the last calls on her phone all made to him. Detectives traced her final movements to a property on Burgess Road in the Black Forest, land belonging to Joel's parents. In 2014, they arrived with a search warrant and cadaver dogs, but Joel's mother, Betty, had an explanation. The family had been burying horses and animals on that land since 1985. No excavation was done, and the case slowly went cold. Then, in February 2022, everything changed. Joel's ex-wife picked up the phone and called the sheriff's department. She told them she believed her husband was responsible for Kara's disappearance, and she had reason to believe it. Joel had confessed to her. He told her he had strangled Kara and buried her body in one of the old horse graves on his parents' property. This time, investigators didn't leave empty-handed. They searched the grounds and found Kara's remains. After 10 years, she had finally been found. Joel was brought in for questioning. This is Crime Cracked. Sit back and let's get into it.
Joel, my name's Pat Gallagher. I'm a detective here at the sheriff's office. It's my ID, so you can see who I am.
Okay.
I'm going to throw you a business card in case you need to get in touch with me later on down the road.
I don't see why I would, but I don't know what I'm doing here either, so.
That's written into policy as well. If I interact with anybody, I've got to give them a way to get back
No, I
in touch
understand.
with me.
I understand.
So, kind of a professional courtesy.
Right. I get it.
Kind of an annoying thing I've got to do to keep my job. All right, so that's how you get in touch with me ever in the future. And my partner and I would like to have a conversation with you. Before we do, I've got to make sure that you know what your rights are, right? Your protections, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's scoot this over. So I'm going to read you this form pretty much verbatim, not because I don't think you can read, but again, because I have to.
All right.
So what it says is, this is an El Paso County Sheriff's Office Miranda warning. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. And you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of those rights as I explained them to you?
Yes.
Okay. In taking those into account, are you willing to talk with us now?
I have no clue what this is about, so I'll answer any questions that I can.
Okay, so to me that's yes, because it's a yes or no. So what I'm going to ask for is your initials here, signature there, and then all that's administrative stuff for me.
Okay.
So, Joel, I understand your last name is Hollendorfer, am I saying that right?
Yep.
Okay, so again, my name is Pat Gallagher. Call me Detective Gallagher, you call me Pat. I'm a pretty informal guy, really doesn't bother me. Just so you kind of understand where I'm coming from, I've been here at the sheriff's office for about 10 years, okay? Spent about 2.5 years down at CJC, the county jail, and then I transferred over. I became a patrol deputy, just driving a car, going to 911 calls for, I want to say about another 2.5 years, and I became a detective. I worked in a special victims unit, so child crimes, sex crimes, crimes against at-risk adults. I worked for a couple of years on a task force called Internet Crimes Against Children with Homeland Security and CSPD and a couple other agencies, and then I rotated back here, and I'm basically jamming on cases and helping out where needed, as often as I can. This is my partner, Brig.
Hey, Joel, how are you?
Not well.
It's early, right?
This is some messed up shit, honestly. I don't have the slightest clue why I'm here. I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't, other than this stupid warrant for a dine and dash like 2 years ago, I haven't broken the law since I've been out of prison.
But we'll explain everything to you,
All
for
right.
sure.
Yeah, so Briggs' career I can't speak too much to because a lot of it's classified. Recently, though, he was instructing interrogation at the FBI National Academy before he joined us here at the Sheriff's Office. So, you have no idea why you're down here?
No, not a clue in the world.
Okay. So, I'm aware the last time that anybody had talked to you from my office was, 8 years ago you were down here for an interview?
8 or 9, something like that.
Okay.
Some missing girl or something.
Okay. And in the middle there is what I would call a pretty significant gap. Okay, now, I would like to talk with you about what's been going on with your life in that 8-year window before we get into, super heavy, detailed questions, anything like that. Just figure out what's going on with Joel.
What is this about? Why am I here? You don't care about my life. There's a reason I'm here. Just tell me what I'm doing here. Okay, let's cut to the chase. Why do you have a warrant? Why do you have the SWAT team at my house?
I didn't have the SWAT team anywhere. What happened this morning? You got arrested for a warrant?
Yeah, but I was ambushed. I was arrested by SWAT. They don't pull you over for fucking speeding. Okay? I was ambushed, and they told me they have a warrant to search my house this morning. And they said, we don't want to go to your house because we've been ambushed and booby-trapped and all kinds of other stuff. That's why we did this way. They told me that right to my face.
Okay.
So there's a reason I'm in here right now.
Right from the start, Joel is agitated and nervous he is in there with the police. He seems almost insulted that he was brought in by the police for questioning. He doesn't play nice with the police, despite them trying to.
Not right to my face.
Okay.
So there's a reason I'm in here right now. Tell me what it is. Please don't bullshit me. What am I doing here?
That's fair. That's fair.
Why do you think, Joel?
I don't have the slightest fucking clue,
If
man.
you had to pick something, though, what would you say it is?
I couldn't. I haven't done anything wrong. Like I said, besides that stupid dine and dash that I had this warrant for from 2 years ago, I haven't broken the law since I've been out of prison for fucking 18 years.
Sounds like you've cleaned up your life then.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. That's good.
Yeah, I just started a new job. I just became a grandfather a couple months ago. I'm trying to do some new things. Thanks.
Where are you working now?
It's a place called Creative Fabrications.
What do you do there?
I'm a metal fabricator and a welder.
Okay, good. Well, it sounds like you're in a good direction with your life, right?
Trying to be, yeah. And this is kind of jamming me up. I'm supposed to be at work, and my boss is probably like, "Where the fuck is this guy?" Because I wasn't able to call him. So now I got to explain this, whatever this is.
Well, we're going to explain everything. We just wanted to ask you why you think you're here.
I don't know. I couldn't possibly imagine to guess.
Well, Pat will explain it to you.
So we're looking for clarification on the very things that you talked about the last time you were here.
Clarifications on what? Some person I've never met? There's nothing more I can tell you about that. It's 8 or 9 years ago. I don't have anything to add. I never met this person. I don't know if they ever found this person or whatever the deal was. I know nothing. I have nothing else to say on it.
Well, Joel, I'm inclined to disagree with you, but not to say that you're not telling me the truth. Again, I'm looking for clarification, not new information.
Okay. Well,
I
said what I had to say 9 years ago. I don't have anything more to say. I don't even remember the situation, to be honest. It was so long ago. I don't know why you guys have me down here. I really don't.
Well, Joe, we picked up, Pat and I have picked this case up, started looking at things. And what we did is, pretty straightforward. We just made a list of people that we need to talk to, and we're talking to you. That's what we're doing. We've talked to other people, okay?
Okay, you couldn't just call me and ask me to come down and speak to you. You got to have the SWAT team ambush me on my way to work?
Because we had a warrant in the system, so it complicated things. So if you would have taken care of the warrant, we wouldn't have had to do that.
Well, It still feels kind of shitty to me that you guys went about it that way. That's kind of messed up, in my opinion. I understand you got a job to do. I get that, okay? But on my side, it feels pretty crappy.
So, I apologize for that. I've never been in your shoes. I can't begin to imagine if I didn't show up in the morning, my boss would have my ass. So I can't say, oh, it's no big deal, brush it off, anything like that. All I can do is apologize for it. I can't fix it right now, obviously.
No, you can't.
But that's what I can do.
But we're the investigators on this case, so I help out on some of these cases. I've been doing it 25 years, doing this kind of thing. And so we're not the guys that picked you up, but we're here to just talk to you. Like I said, we made a list of people that we need to talk to, and we've talked to a few people. So you're on our list, and some of this stuff we may need to go through and chat with you about.
Well, like I said, I have nothing else to say on it. I don't remember the situation all that well. I never even met this person that they were looking for. So I really have nothing more I can add to it. So if you guys want to go ahead and take me down to CJC, I can bond out and go to work. Sorry you wasted your time.
Well, there's none wasted here. What I'm curious is, do you remember what you discussed with the previous investigator?
Not really. It was so long ago, I put it out of my mind. I really don't remember anything about that situation.
Okay.
I remember they were looking for some missing girl, and that's about it.
What was and again, we picked this up and started looking at, we don't know everything about the case. Did they ask you, if you met her, what happened, all that? Did they ask you details about the situation?
Yeah, they asked me all kinds of stuff, and I told them, I said I never even met the person, so I really have nothing else to say about it.
But there was something about the escort's phone tracked to your house, right?
Or they said it was like within 500 feet of my property or something like that. And I told them I have no idea how that's possible. Maybe the person followed me, was trying to rob me. I don't know. I have no clue.
Well, I know enough about the case to know that the escort was less than 100 pounds. She wasn't going to chase you and try to rob you. So that doesn't make sense to me, just doing this for a long time.
It doesn't to me either, but these things happen all the time. They have other people that help them. They follow people. They fucking rob them or whatever. That.
That doesn't make sense, though. I mean, she didn't have a car. She didn't have a driver's license. So that's kind of...
Dude, I don't know. I don't remember.
We're just talking, trying to figure this out.
Like I said, I never even met the person, so there's nothing more I can share with you guys. I'm sorry. I wish her the best on finding this person if she's still out there. I really do. I have kids. Like I said, I just became a grandpa. I'd go frantic if one of my kids ever came up missing. I'd fucking lose my shit. Pardon my language.
Joel opened the interrogation aggressively and defensively. One could say he took control of the interview. But he began speaking, listing reasons his life is back on track. A new job, a grandchild, 18 years clean. He's painting a picture of a man with everything to lose. The detectives don't push back. Not yet. They stay calm, almost casual, telling him he's simply on a list. It's a classic technique. Keep him comfortable. Keep him talking. And that's what they want.
I said I just became a grandpa. I'd go frantic if one of my kids ever came up missing. I'd fucking lose my shit. Pardon my language.
That's fair. So, the statement that you never met this person, whether or not she might have followed you, which we know didn't happen. I'm inclined to disagree with Joel. Now, there's new information that's come about in the investigation, right? And we picked this up from, case number starts with a 12, so about a decade ago. That's not an everyday occurrence, but we got lucky and we were asked to talk to everybody involved in the case. And there's new information that's come about that leads us to believe that that's absolutely not true, that you did have contact with this person. So we can blindly beat around the bush and say, oh no, I didn't, or we can have an honest conversation with each other. Now, you want to know why you're here. I told you why you're here. I don't blow smoke. We can sit down and get to know each other for 30, 40 minutes and establish some rapport about what's been going on in your life, sure. But you want to know why you're here, so we told you.
Okay. Well,
So
I don't have anything
telling us
to share with you guys, so.
telling us the same information you told our investigator before doesn't serve any purpose anymore. Things have changed.
Well, nothing's changed with me, so.
We have new information, Joel.
Things have changed with us at the sheriff's office.
Like I said, we've talked to people already.
Okay.
What do you think came out of that?
No clue.
I'm saying, what do you think?
I have no idea who you talked to. I have no idea what they told you, so I don't know what to tell you.
I think there's a lot more to the story, Joel. I mean, I can see the burden in your face. There's something there.
My burden is getting out of here, getting bonded out, and going back to work so I don't get fired. That's my only burden right now.
I don't believe that. Can see it in you, man. You're holding some burden there. There's some story there that wasn't told before.
Not from my end.
So you can't imagine why at 8 in the morning, and you were contacted, probably about 7 in the morning up north, why you'd be down at a station. You can't put that together.
No.
Joel, this is a chance for you to get some things off your back.
I don't have anything to get off
listen,
my back.
Listen, stop. You said that like 5 times. There's something there. I can see it in you, man. You're shaking. I can just see it in your face. I can see it in your voice. There's like a backpack on your back that you just want to get rid of. And you can walk out of this store and hold your chin high and feel lighter today.
I'm not hiding anything, man. I told you guys the same thing 9 years ago or whenever it was
Joel,
I was in
we're
here.
done. We're done with those stories. Okay.
You can fucking try to intimidate me all you want, dude. I haven't done anything wrong. Are we done here? Go ahead and take me to CJC so I can bond out and go to work. I told you the same thing before. I've never fucking met this person. I don't know where this person is. I have no clue who this person is. We're done here, okay?
Who's intimidating you here?
He's trying to get me to confess like I have some burden on me that I'm trying to get this weight lifted. I don't. I don't know what you think you see, but you're wrong.
I'll tell you what I see. You're doing an awful lot of yelling for somebody who says that they're not bothered by something.
Dude, I'm pissed off that I got ambushed on my way to work over some bullshit. I'm not saying it's bullshit on your side. I understand you guys are looking for someone, okay? But I don't have any involvement in this. To me, it's bullshit. This is a disruption in my life, and I just want to be out of here so I can go about my business. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just a little cranky and tired. I haven't had my coffee this morning because I didn't get a chance on my way to work to drink it. So
I can bring you
forgive
coffee.
me.
I offered earlier.
That's all right.
Just try to be polite. I got a pot at my desk.
No, I understand. It's fine. I'm real particular about how I do my coffee, so it's all right.
Okay.
I appreciate the offer, though. Thank you.
I've never met anybody who enjoys being here. Okay? Shit, I don't enjoy being here, and I get fucking paid to be here.
I understand.
Pretty fair. But you see what I'm getting at. I mean, there's a palpable tension with you and being arrested on a warrant. I mean, you've been to jail before.
Mm-hmm.
You know how the system works. You know that you could bond out and be back to work this afternoon if somebody'd hurry up and get you down there.
Right, and that's all I want.
So you're understandably pissed. But you're also understandably overreacting a little bit to being picked up. You've been arrested before. You've been to prison before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my point is that, like Brigg was saying, there's something about you that vibes wrong, bro. And
Story of my life.
I'm pretty good at lying, being a detective. And I know that one of the most dangerous types of deception is self-deception. Right? You tell yourself something to make yourself feel better or to make something right in your mind. And next thing you know, it's become a monster. And it doesn't matter if it's women, booze, drugs, eventually, the thing that you grabbed onto to make yourself feel better is the other way around. And it's holding on to you. Does that sound like a road maybe you've been down before?
Long time ago, decades ago. Like I said, I haven't broken the law other than this stupid dine and dash bullshit for 18 years since I've been out of prison. I've been trying to do better with my life. You know, I had a rough patch with the marriage and stuff, but I'm not the same guy I was back then. You know, I'm not going back to prison. I'm not going to put myself in a position to go back to prison.
The detectives reveal new information to Joel, that someone talked, and just like that, you can notice his demeanor change. He yells, demands to leave, and accuses them of intimidation. But the detectives point it out calmly. You're doing an awful lot of yelling for someone with nothing to hide. He began to panic, and the detectives knew about it. So far, they tried the tactic of putting guilt and burden on him, but it's not working.
I'm going back to prison. I'm not going to put myself in a position to go back to prison.
And what is this dine and dash thing I keep hearing about?
That's exactly that. I did a fucking dine and dash a couple of years ago, and I went to court a couple of times, and I didn't go to the final court date, and it was a little over a year ago, and I have had a warrant out for like a year.
Okay.
And that's what the warrant was for.
I didn't know that, so I'm just trying to...
No, I'm being honest with you guys. I mean, you can go look it up on the computer, you know, I'm not going to lie to you about it. That's what it is.
Okay. So
I was just kind of in a bad spot in my life. I did a dine and dash.
dash.
A guy came running out, jumped in front of my truck as I was driving off, so when you read it, it says reckless endangerment. Like they're trying to charge me like I was trying to hurt the guy, which is absolute BS. He jumped on the hood of my vehicle. But, you know, that's neither here nor there.
Okay. So that's why you got the warrant.
Yeah.
Okay. That helps me understand a little bit. I didn't know if it was just you walked out on a bill and they got your fingerprint off a piece of glass or what happened, you know?
Well, I guess they saw me leave, but I did walk out on a check, yeah. But I guess that someone saw me and they came running out as I was driving away, and they're like, that's the guy, and then he jumped on the hood of my car.
Gotcha.
Dude, what the fuck? You don't jump on someone's car?
Right.
You know, and then they're trying to charge me with reckless endangerment, which I think is absolute horseshit, but...
And you said that was like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been clean?
Long time. Decades.
I don't know what a long time is for you, so it's just, you know, if you ask me...
I drank occasionally, like I had a couple of drinks last night, but I haven't even smoked marijuana in like 2.5 years. Like I don't do shit anymore. It's just pointless.
Was that wrapped up in the dine and dash thing? Were you on something?
No.
Okay.
No, just in a bad place. Wanted to go have some free drinks. Like I planned to do it.
Okay.
You know, I knew I had no money going in. It was stupid.
Right.
Sounds like you've got a good job now. You've got income coming in. You're clean.
Mm-hmm.
You got a grand baby, which is great.
Yep. Haven't met her yet because my son's up in Washington in the Air Force, but
Okay.
I'll see her soon, probably next month.
Okay.
I got to take my son a car.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and his wife only had one car, and he said, Dad, I need a car up here. So, all right, I got you.
Where is he up there in Washington?
Just outside Tacoma at Lewis McChord Air Force Base.
Yeah. Okay. I'm an old Army guy, so I've been up there.
Okay.
It used to be called Fort Lewis way back when.
Yep.
So.
How was the baby?
December 19th, so not even 2 months.
Okay.
Well, I think, Joel, and I'm not trying to intimidate you, but you're making big changes and good changes in your life, and this one, it's weighing on you, man. I mean, I'm just here having a conversation with you, telling you I can see it in you. I've made mistakes in my life. Pat's made mistakes in his life. I think you've made some mistakes in your life, and this one's just weighing on you, man. I know it's there. I mean, I can see it. Like I said, I'm not trying to intimidate you. I'm just having a conversation with you that this could be another big thing to get off your back. You can walk out of it feeling a lot lighter. Just get it behind you.
There's nothing on my back. There is no thing, man.
Joel, listen to me. Listen, if you just listen to me for a second. There's
you said it 3 times already. There's nothing on my back, I'm telling you.
Well, I can see
We're done here. I haven't done anything wrong. I don't appreciate you trying to get me to confess to something I haven't done. You know, I understand it's a tactic. I get it. You know, I understand it's part of your job.
It's not a tactic, it's a conversation.
You forget I've been doing this for 30 years on my side. I'm not proud of that, but it's a fact. I've been in and out of trouble with the law since I was 11 years old. I know all the tricks, okay? I haven't done anything wrong. You're trying to get me to confess to something because you want to find this missing person. I understand that. I'm not the guy you're looking for. Whatever you think happened, I'm not him, okay? Sorry to break that to you. I'm not the person you're looking for. I have nothing to do with this missing person. I told you guys that 10 years ago, 9 years ago. I can't believe I'm back here for this again. This is ridiculous.
Well, like we said, this is because some new information's come to light. It's not that we think we know something. We've got a hint of a vagary of new, maybe somebody missed something in a video they watched. There's just completely new information that we didn't have before. That's why you're here.
Okay.
Okay. So for us, it's not a question of what we think. It's a question of what we know you can help us prove.
I can't help you prove anything.
We have other people here right now that we're talking to about this situation and about you in one of the other interview rooms.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay, fine.
We've talked to some other people before today, obviously. And we're here because of that information. Not because we think you're a bad guy. I don't think you're a bad guy. But some information has led us back to this room.
Okay. I don't know what information that could be, but whatever.
Been doing this for 30 years, and you don't know what that information could be.
No.
I think your mom's going to tell investigators when they talk to her.
My mom doesn't know anything. She's not going to have anything to tell investigators. She's already talked to the people. You guys took an entire crime lab truck out to my parents' hot property. And my mom talked to them out there, my mom and dad.
Well, we are talking to your mom right now.
I know that.
What do you think she's going to say?
She doesn't know anything. She's not going to have anything to say.
That's around that time frame. What do you think they'll tell us about your behaviors then?
That I was working, doing drugs, going through a lot of jobs, drinking a lot.
How about your personal relationships?
What about them?
What were they like? I mean, I know you were married and you're not anymore. I don't know what happened there.
We weren't getting along. My wife and I divorced for the second time. She moved back to Virginia.
So you're married, you split, you got married again and split again?
Mm-hmm.
And over the span of how long?
15 years.
Okay. So personal relationships weren't great, I'm guessing?
Not always, no.
What is, right?
Yeah.
It's fair. Everybody has shitty days. Was there any kind of abuse in the marriage?
No, I got a DV. It was for holding onto her wrist so she wouldn't hit me. That's all it was. And I got a DV out of that. Went through the whole program, did great with it. And we got back together after all of that stuff. She was with me the whole time I was going through the program. We were doing well for a few years, and then my dad died, and my life fell apart.
And when was that?
2014.
And what killed your dad?
Heart attack.
My dad had one of those too.
It happens.
You were close with your dad?
Very.
Sounds like.
The detectives deliberately eased the tension, letting Joel ramble about his grandchild, his son stationed in Washington, even the dine and dash warrant. Small talk that feels harmless but is carefully calculated to lower his guard before the next move. Then, almost casually, they mention that his mother is being interviewed in another room at that very moment, and the shift in Joel's energy is immediate. He insists she has nothing to tell them, that she knows absolutely nothing, but the detectives aren't really concerned with what she knows, because what they're actually watching is how Joel reacts to the mere possibility that she might.
Was he having heart problems or just all?
No, just all of a sudden died in his sleep.
Those are the worst.
I mean, he went out like a king, you know.
Hmm.
We'd all be so lucky.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was tough.
Sounds like a good man. You looked up to him. He mentored you. It's kind of few and far between these days.
Yeah.
Today's society, you don't find anybody like that, born since the 80s.
Right.
Like I said, I don't have access to like a barista, but I can get you black coffee, I can get you some basic creamer, you name it.
No, I'm ready to go, man. I just want to get a hold of my mom so I can get this bond thing going and hopefully get back to work today, or at least get a hold of my boss and let him know what's going on.
Right. Like I said, I don't have access to like a barista, but I can get you black coffee, I can get you some basic creamer, you name it.
No, I'm ready to go, man. I just want to get a hold of my mom so I can get this bond thing going and hopefully get back to work today, or at least get a hold of my boss and let him know what's going on.
Right.
Check in out there and
Let's see how the paperwork's going.
let us go check that, and we'll be right back.
Just hang tight for us.
Yeah.
And I promise.
You sure you don't want some
I
coffee?
could get you.
I'm
just
okay.
I could get you just a black coffee if you don't want anything in it.
No, that's all right.
Okay. Trying to help my man out. I don't have caffeine. This paperwork's gonna be a hot minute. So, like I said, I've been honest with you, right? You asked what's the change of why I'm here, and I told you why. And I think it's important that you know that this isn't, get me down to CJC so I can bond out. There's going to be a change in the direction of our lives from this point forward. Okay. The new information that we referenced, we talked about earlier, is specific, detailed. And we're aware that you told at least one person what went down with who you would know as Naomi, the escort. They were here to talk about it the previous time. And at least one person has told us that you got linked up with her, drove her up to your parents, got carried away while you were engaged with her, having sex or whatever it was you guys were doing. You got a little carried away choking her, and she passed away. And you put her on top of one of the horse graves on your parents' property. And you covered her up with lime or lye or whatever it was that you guys used. And you put some plastic bags over her, and then you reburied her. Detailed information. Specific information relating to you.
That's a great story.
I don't think it is. I think it's a tragedy.
It's not true. I don't know who told you that, but it's not the truth.
About you if it's not true, Joel.
I have no idea.
Who do you think we're talking about, Joel?
I have no idea who would say something like that about me.
You guys got in your truck, and you said, I got to get something off my back. Probably near the time of your dad's death. You were probably going through emotional time, and you cleansed yourself of it. You had to tell somebody. That's very common.
I had to unpack it, unload it. Then this person told us that you even said that you told your parents, and you felt like this is what caused your dad to have his heart attack. You're trying to deal with all this.
What? Wow.
We don't know if that's true, but we know what the person told us about the conversation. So we know about the conversation.
I don't know who told you that, but it's absolutely not true.
Well, we know that's true, that you had the conversation with this person. We don't know the details of what happened. That's what we're trying to find out.
And the shame of it is, to me, I think you told that person the truth. Because like I said, this is a tragedy, not a mystery, right? I'm not dealing with a serial killer. But we can't even get to the bottom of a tragedy for you trying to save face here.
I'm trying to save face. I haven't done anything.
But we're beyond that, Joel. We know about the conversation. Why would you say that you did something with? Listen to me for a minute.
I didn't say that to
Why would
anyone.
you give such detail? And I would call that very unique detail. People don't do that if it's not true. So we know you had the conversation. What I'm trying to figure out is, was that your thing, like hunting down escorts and killing them, or was this just a mistake, like Pat said? And I kind of lean towards, whatever was going on. Maybe it was hard sex or whatever, which is common, and maybe something went bad. That's kind of where I'm going with this. It's what I think happened,
Or maybe it was.
but we need to find out.
Maybe it was normal sex with somebody who wasn't healthy, like an 80-pound.
And she wasn't healthy. Yeah.
Right. It's not the first time that this has happened in the world. It's not. It's just still an open case. Because every time we talk to you, we get, I never met her.
I think it's a mistake. I think it's what happened. It was a mistake. I don't think you went out and hunted her down and did this. I think it was a mistake. It went bad. And honestly, I think you kind of panicked afterwards, which any of us would do.
Mm-hmm.
In that situation, you probably panicked and you were like, what do I do now? And who are you going to call? You can't really call anybody. That's what I think happened. I think it was a mistake, and this is the time to get this off your chest. You're hanging on to this. Now, Joel, listen, you're hanging on to this, man. It's time to get this off your back. Move on with your life. You got a grandbaby. It's time to get this behind you. But you got to tell us what happened.
I didn't do anything, man. I don't know who would say that about
Joel,
me.
we're beyond, I didn't do anything. We have a very detailed conversation you have with somebody.
It's made up, whoever this person is, whatever they said is made up.
Hey, Joel, there's too much detail in it for it to be made up. We know that's how that works.
What's the point of making up that story?
I have no idea.
Right, you're not some billionaire and somebody's set to inherit your wealth if you go to prison or something. There's no point to making up stories like this about people, even if someone did. That's a illogical fallacy or whatever you want to call it. Doesn't make sense. It's like me going to the police and saying I saw Brigg murder somebody on Shelton Road. Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. I don't understand this.
The fact that somebody would have made it up is what doesn't make sense, not what they said about you. But we've been doing this for a living for a while.
I'm not saying you haven't. I don't understand any of this. I really don't.
We just laid it out for you.
Yeah, we're being honest with you. I mean, we came here and told you what's going on.
Yeah, I understand that, but that doesn't mean whatever this person said is true. I don't know why someone would make up an elaborate story like that, but I assure you
it's not a
made-up
story, Joel. It's not a made-up story.
It absolutely is.
We're beyond that. Okay, let's stop talking about that. It's not a made-up story. We know the conversation happened. We just want to know what happened. We want to know.
The small talk about Joel's father serves a quiet purpose. The detectives are watching how he processes grief, guilt, and loss, building a psychological profile in real time before delivering the blow they've been holding back the entire conversation. Then, without warning, they lay it all out. The escort, the parents' property, the horse grave, the lime, the plastic bags, the choking. Specific, detailed information that could only have come from someone Joel himself had told. And the color visibly drains from the room as the weight of those words settles in. Joel fires back, calling it a fabricated story, insisting that whoever said it was lying, but the detectives calmly dismantle every denial by pointing out the one thing that keeps unraveling his argument, that the level of detail in that confession is simply not something an innocent person invents about someone else, and that there is no logical reason in the world for anyone to make up a story that specific unless they heard it directly from the man sitting across the table.
We just want to know what happened. We want to know the details, and we want to find out where the remains are of this person. That's how you get this behind you, man. I've done this a lot of years, like I said, and guys cleanse themselves. They feel better. And, again, I don't think this is you were out hunting escorts and killing them. I think this was just something that went bad. And I think you panicked. Like I said, we would all do that. But this is just going to ride you, man, till you get it off your chest, get it out on the table.
I haven't done anything. I'm done talking about it. I don't know why this person's accusing me of doing some crazy shit like this, but it's not true.
I don't think it was
I'm
crazy,
over
man. I think at the time it was normal for you. You said you were on drugs, right? You were out getting escorts. It wasn't crazy. It's just what you were doing at the time. We've all been through different phases in our life. I think this is just, you picked this girl up and something went bad.
Well, we're talking about an accident here, Joel, not a cold-blooded
Yeah.
murder. There's nobody slamming phone books on the table. There's nobody telling you what a piece of shit you were back in the day. None of that. We're trying to get to the bottom of what we think is an accident. And you're holding the key.
I wish I was holding the key. I
But
really
you-
do, but I haven't. I didn't
you
do this.
You have the key.
I don't.
Okay, we're not
man,
gonna.
I'm
We're
telling
not.
you,
We're
I
not
don't.
playing games with you here. We
I'm
just
not
wanna
either.
know-
I'm not playing games with you
We
guys.
just
I
want to
don't know
exactly what happened.
what you're looking for. I don't know where this person is or who this person is. I don't know why
Joel,
whoever
Joel,
you're talking.
listen, let's just stop. Okay, we're beyond that. We're trying to be friendly with you here and find out what happened. Okay, and we want to know the details of it. Was it something where you deliberately went out and found this girl and killed her, or is it just something that went bad? It was an accident. That's what we're trying to figure out. It's one of the two. And her remains are somewhere, and we just want to find those. And if they're on your property, then we want to get your property cleansed as well.
And the real tragedy, I think, to me would be that we're sitting here with an opportunity in front of us to get to the bottom of that. And you're willing to just let it go by and just keep harboring this.
Not harboring anything, man. I haven't done anything. I don't know anything. Sorry, I can't help you guys. I really am.
Well, if you told your mom, we're going to find that out this morning. You know, we're definitely going to. We have her down here now too, so we're going to talk to her, get into it with her, see what she tells. Basics of the story. We're just trying to find out exactly what happened.
Like you've heard a couple, probably 100 times if you've ever watched a TV show. You know, we're beyond the what here. Like Rick said, it's been made. The way we keep that from consuming us, from burning us up on the inside, is by getting it off our chests, letting it go. I mean, do you think we're not asking this question for us? We're trying to give you the opportunity.
And I appreciate that, but I don't have anything I need to get off my chest. I really don't. I wish I could help you guys. I honestly do.
Joel, can you stop with that? Seriously, we're trying to get to the bottom of this. You're just disrespecting us when you say that, to be honest with you. We came in and we said, listen, we talked to someone, we know about the conversation in your truck, exactly what happened with this escort, known as Naomi, and we're just trying to get the details of it now.
I don't
We
know
came
who
in
you-
and showed you that respect. We came in and
I understand that.
I hope you saw that we manned up and
Whoever
we
you
told
talk to, whatever they said, if this is even true, is full of shit.
Well, we know it's true. We know the conversation happened. So we're really not at the what, like Penn said, we're at the why.
Just to make it clear, we're allowed to lie, okay? What we're not allowed to do is falsify evidence. I can tell you all day, guess what, Joel? This guy's purple. This guy's purple. This guy's purple. And I could sit here and I could berate you with that for 16 hours until you thought this guy was purple. But I'm not allowed to say that something exists out there in the world that doesn't. And this very much does. The way out there in the world, somewhere, she exists. Now, I know, just like Brig knows, we're moving closer. One little step at a time, through this conversation, to figuring out why what took place. And you keep putting up these walls of never met her, don't know what happened, nothing to tell you, using deceptive, really, honestly, LY words. And you're playing the same tune that we've heard before. Well, like we said, we're past it. I'm not here telling you a 4-inch thick binder, you're my guy. I know you're my guy. We've got the statements. There's information that's been collected. We're acting on it. You are living in the past. can't tell you how to live your life, bro. I can tell you you're wrong. I'm not your judge and jury. But I can tell you I've never met somebody who sat in that chair, and you're in that chair for a reason. This is the interview room I use. Never met somebody who sat in that chair, lied to themselves and lied to me, and was better for it. Not once. And I understand it's frightening and it's scary. It sucks sitting over there, and you've been doing it for 30 years. I don't know how to make that stop for you, but you can start by being honest with us.
I have been. I'm sorry you guys don't believe me, but we're done here. I have nothing more to say to you guys. You don't want to hear what I have to say. You don't believe anything I say. We're
Mm-hmm. Well, Joel, I'm sorry to hear that. What I'll tell you is, I think that what you're knuckling down on, what you're holding on to, might be just so tough that you're not going to talk about it no matter what. I mean, if Lord Almighty was sitting here, I don't think you'd change your tune. It's just that tough for you. So instead of asking you to talk about it, which I've done politely, I'll give you an opportunity. You don't even have to use words. Okay? I just need your mark on a piece of paper. What do you think this is?
I already saw what it is. It's a picture of my property.
Okay. That's a picture of your property,
Mm-hmm.
which, I mean, good, at a glimpse. I probably wouldn't be able to ID mine that quick. Can you make a mark on there and show me where she is?
No, I can't because there's no one there.
Where do you guys bury horses on the property?
Can you show me that?
That's my mom's stuff. I don't do that. She does.
Yeah, but you know where they're buried. Where are the horses buried on your property?
I know where there's a few buried. We just buried
Can you
two horses.
Can you show us that?
Now, this is the most important part of the interrogation that got Joel caught. Investigators asked Joel to identify all the spots where animals were buried on his parents' property. He would name them all except one, which he would say is a dry patch with a high spot, but that nothing was buried there.
Can you show
Buried
us that?
horses.
Can you show us that? Just put an X where the horses are.
It's not even on this section of the
Okay.
picture.
Is this what you're referring to?
Further south from the house?
Is it down here in this open area?
No, right here.
Can you put an X there so we know?
Yeah, there's horses buried approximately right here.
Looks like some dirt's kind of scuffed up there in the map. Is that where all the horses are buried?
No, there's the rest of them are buried in the front pasture.
Was that on that first picture at all?
No, it's more this way.
Are there markings there where the horses are buried?
Not really. There's just, you can see where the dirt's more humped up and stuff.
Okay.
How many horses are out there?
I don't know, a dozen maybe. Been there 36 years.
Yeah, and I don't know how long horses live, so if you told me there was two, I'd be like, okay. I know.
I want to say there's like a 10 or 11, maybe 12, something like that.
Are they generally in the same area?
For the most part, yeah. The last three that we just put down a little over a year ago, like I said, are right here. There's a barn here. There's an arena right here with a bunch of jumps in it, and then just behind there, there's a low spot, and there's like 4 or 5 buried all right there.
Are there any other animals buried out there besides horses?
A couple of dogs and cats.
Where are those?
I think they're all in the front pasture as well.
Okay. And there would be some kind of discoloration in the dirt or something there?
Probably not as long as it's been. You probably can't even tell.
Anything like big pig or cow or anything like that?
No.
All right, we're going to take a break. I'm going to freshen up my coffee. You sit tight. We'll be back.
So it was time for them anyway. Mom just wanted to let them live out their life.
Right.
You know, but then when someone calls, the vet comes and says you got to do this, this, and this, and it's going to be thousands of dollars. Well, we don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your only alternative? You got to put them down.
There's always one neighbor like that.
And how does it work? Do
Yeah.
you guys have to do it yourselves, or do you pay a service?
Call a vet.
Okay.
And they
So
euthanize
it's
them.
humane.
And then we have a guy right across the street that has an excavating company. Had his son come over and dig the hole for us. We just got a new load of hay in, so he actually traded us the hay for digging the hole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hardworking.
Hmm.
Do what you got to do to survive, right?
Yep, that's right. Hmm. So no horses, no animals on the property anymore.
Just dogs.
Yeah.
2 dogs and a cat.
Hmm.
They asked his mother the same question, and everything he said was true, except the dry patch. His mother claims that's where her favorite horse, Milo, is buried. Investigators returned to that property with a search warrant and started digging. What they found beneath that dry patch of earth would finally bring an end to a decade of silence.
A lot easier to feed than horses.
Yeah.
I can imagine what that was costing. Feed those horses.
See, load of hay. How much was the load of hay? Like $4,000, I think, and that's lasted about 3 months, maybe 4 months.
Wow. I had no idea.
And that fed the 3 horses that were ours.
Hmm.
So like what, $12,000 a year?
Hmm.
Just for feed. I mean, that's not including vet and
Yeah.
farrier or whatever else you need done. Jesus.
Yeah, animals aren't cheap to own, that's for sure.
Okay.
Even small ones.
Kind of like kids, right?
Yeah. I know that kid.
Well, we want to give you a little more information, Joel. Fair enough?
Sure.
Okay.
So, I'll preface this with letting you know that when we walked out of the room, the air out of a balloon, kind of like a pressure cooker, somebody hitting a relief valve. There's an audible that came out of you. You're smart. I got to give you credit where credit's due. You're an intelligent man. I know why you felt relief when we walked out of the room. And I think you know why I know that. Now, the information that we have, all the stuff I told you, came directly from Christina.
I don't know why she would say these things about me. I don't know why she's so pissed off at me that she would make up some lies like that, but that's not fucking cool.
I don't think it's cool either, but I don't think she made anything up.
And I know she did. That's not true. 100% not true. I have no idea why she would make that up, but...
Joel, we know it's true, and we're talking to her right now. Okay? We're talking to her currently. Okay? So we have the details from that, and we have a lot of details on your relationship with her. And we have details about your intimate experiences and all those things. And we think maybe this played into what happened with the escort.
To be specific, we're talking about that she liked to be choked during sex. Uncomfortable conversation, right?
Whatever.
No.
It's her business if she wants to share it.
Well, I'll tell you exactly how this plays into the conversation. Okay. She introduced you to that. She's into that. And you're living a lifestyle at the time that I would call fast and loose between the drugs and the women. And the sometimes drinking, which I know you don't like to do because it would make you black out, right?
A couple of times it did, yeah.
Okay. I think that what she got you into led to this happening with the escort. The choking, I mean. I think you were doing it with Christina. You did it with a girl who wasn't healthy. and she expired. She passed away from that. Now sense the tone. I'm not accusing you of anything here, am I?
No,
Am I being a dick to you?
No, not at all. You guys are being fair.
I've got, say however you want it. I got the key to a door. I've painted half a picture. You know, we're getting dressed in the morning. We're halfway there, whatever you want to call it. We're aware of what took place. We're only interested in what happened after. Because I don't think this was a cold-blooded murder. I think this is a shitty situation that happened because somebody had a substance abuse issue, not you, that led to her being in poor health and led to all this happening. And that feeling that you had when we left that made you just, that's because you're singing your same old song and just hoping it continues to work. And like Brick said, we're past it. I'm not bullshitting you here. She has sat down and given statements. We know. We're just trying to fucking close the door on this. And we get the same thing from you.
And there's a big difference, Joel, between you going out, you know, you're not a serial killer going out and finding escorts and killing them. It sounds like this was an accident. And that's very different. When we go talk to the district attorney about this, it's very different. I mean, Pat can go into more detail on that. But I don't think you were a guy that was going out hunting. I don't think that's what happened. I think that Christina introduced this thing into you, this whatever it was. You said technique to me. Maybe it's some kind of technique, right? And it just went bad. It was an accident. And then you're like, what do I do now? I don't know what to do. I've got this escort here. She was 80 pounds. We know that at the time. She was severely addicted to heroin. And you're like, what do I do with this body, right? And then you panicked and you tried to figure something out. We're just trying to figure out what those remains are. That's what we're trying to figure out at this point. But Christina introduced you to this, you know, technique, and you were high probably at the time. Am I right?
I was high all the time back then.
Yeah, and so you got right back into that technique, and it went bad. She was super unhealthy. I don't know how much she would have lived beyond those days. And then you panicked, and you're like, what do I do? You know, and maybe you took her somewhere, and maybe you moved her again. I don't know. We're trying to figure that out. We're just trying to find those remains. But when we talk to the district attorney, I think comfortably would say this Joel is not a guy that's going out, and he's not a serial killer. It's just something went bad.
Notice how Joel's whole demeanor changed. He's not angry anymore. He's not confident. He is scared, terrified that the police know all this information and that it came from the one person who knew the truth. The police now try to put the picture in his mind that his ex-wife is at fault for introducing him to this sexual fetish in order to get him to agree and basically confess.
This Joel is not a guy that's going out, and he's not a serial killer. It's just something went bad. And that's how we want to explain it. But if you don't give us the details, we're kind of left in this mystery.
And shit goes bad. We get that.
We've all made mistakes. We've all had accidents.
Trying to fill in details like that. I mean, do you know how the system works?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want people trying to fill in details about Joel? Or are we going to just say what honestly happened and move past it?
We just need to know where the remains are. That's what we want to figure out.
That's the bus we're riding right now. Okay? I'm not in here telling you, like Brick said, you're not some cold-blooded killer, you're not some serial killer, you're not some serial rapist. I'm not making any accusatory, slanderous statements towards you. I've told you exactly what this is. I told you why this is what it is. This is why you're here, and that's what we're looking for. That's it.
We've been straight up with you. Every time we come in, we go out and we decide we're going to give Joel some more information. We've been very honest with you, and we just want some of that honesty back. We just want to figure out where these remains are. That's all we want to know right now. That's the bottom line. Unless it is something where you say, yeah, man, at the time I was going out and hunting down these escorts and I was killing them and torturing them and all that, which again, we both don't think that's what happened. We think it was just, you know, there was this kind of, you know, strangulation during sex is what you were used to, and all of a sudden she expired and then you're trying to figure out what to do with the body. That's what we think. We don't know. I mean, if it is that, hey man, I had a problem, I was going out hunting these escorts, tell us that. It sounds like you're cleaning your life up. You're getting all this stuff behind you, and you've made good markers in that direction. So kudos to you.
Well, thanks.
We just want to figure out where are the remains. Are they on your property? Black Forest is a big place, man. If it's out there somewhere, let us just go get that out of the ground and take care of that. If it's on your property, let's get it off your property. We know it's one of the two, Joel. Were you out there aggressively, deliberately hunting these escorts, finding them on Backpage, doing what you did, and they'd meet their demise, or it's just this one situation? Is there more than just this situation?
I don't know what this situation is, man.
Well, I told you what. I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing. You seem like a good guy, man. You seem like you're a straightforward guy, and we're trying to be straightforward with you. We're just trying to find out the details of what happened. Was it a mistake? Was it an accident? And where are the remains? That's it. That's where we are. You know where we are. We're just sitting here at this intersection trying to figure this out. If the remains are at the property, let us just go get that. Just put a mark on the map, and we'll go take care of that. And you'll get this behind you.
There's nothing there, man. I'm done talking to you guys, okay? I don't want to talk to you guys anymore. I don't appreciate this at all. I don't know why Christina's doing this to me. This is fucked up. I'm done.
All right.
Well, let's go talk to Betty.
Sit tight. We're still doing booking paperwork and other legal processes. You're not free to leave the room, but if you do need the bathroom or another drink, I need you to say it out loud.
Okay.
Because several people are listening. That way we know what you need and we can supply it for you.
Thank you.
Yep.
The interview is nearly done. The police know they got him, and they will come one last time before the interview is concluded.
Listening. That way we know what you need and we can supply it for you.
Thank you.
Yep. I didn't have the audio on. Do you need a bathroom break?
I'm alright, I think.
Okay.
I could really go for a cigarette, but that's probably not an option.
So, well, I quit personally. Let me. I'll think about that. I think we keep a pack secured. Otherwise, I just give you one of mine. But I can't keep them on me because I'll use them.
No worries.
What's going through your mind, Joel?
Nothing's. Honestly, I'm kind of tired. I wish I was at work to stay awake.
Well, what are you
Where the
thinking?
coffee's at?
What are you thinking about what we said, as far as what Christina said?
Nothing. Don't know why she would make something up like that, but
Does it make you mad or make you sad?
absolutely it makes me mad.
Mm-hmm.
She's fucking lying. I have no idea why she would fucking say those things. But I don't want to blow up in here. It's.
Well, you do what you need to
do.
do. You need. I mean, if you feel like you need to get angry, we're not going to be mad at you, but she's given us some real detail on this. And now we're talking to your mom. Mom is very talkative.
Very sweet lady.
Yeah, very nice lady.
Yeah, she'll talk your ear off.
Told us all about your sapling. Sounds adorable. So, Joel, I've got some concern, buddy, and I want you to kind of meet me halfway here. I don't think that's asking too much. You remember your old Nissan Altima?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, we've had that car for years. We seized it. And information coming directly to us from Christina is that the reason that you got rid of that car, I believe it was either you sold it or traded it. And then you got a Lincoln, I think.
I got that brand new F-150. I traded it in.
There you go. Was it you want to get rid of the car because a body had been in the trunk?
I want to get rid of the car because I bought a brand new pickup truck.
Right.
That's funny.
And lo and behold, we seized that car. And when the crime lab went over it, they got DNA off the back of the taillight in the trunk. A human DNA. That is of massive interest and concern to us. So you can see from everything that was discussed years and years ago, everything we've talked about with you today, that we're putting together a puzzle, a jigsaw puzzle. We're painting ourselves a picture, however you want to visualize it, right? And it's not very complicated. There's like 10 pieces to this jigsaw puzzle. You're one, and all these other things are all their own pieces, and they all fit together nice and snug. My interest is what we've been saying is getting to the bottom of where she is.
I've been honest with you, Joel. Every time we come in, we give you more information, and you're just stonewalling us here.
I don't have any information for you, man.
Joel, listen, we've been down that road. We just want to know what happened. We want to know where the remains are. We want to deal with that, you know. Give us some respect here. Every time we come in here, we give you more information. You have to be honest, right? Is that true? Every time we come in, we say, hey, we talked to Christina. Here's what she said. We have the car. Here's what we found, right?
You found human DNA on a vehicle. Wow. You'll find human DNA on every car in the world.
Are you an expert in DNA?
No.
You know, we said up front, Pat and I caught this case. You got some good guys working this. You know, we had good people before, but you know, we're kind of bulldogs. We're going to figure out what happened. We need you to meet us somewhere here. And I told you before, you're either this guy, this predator that was out, you know, preying on these escorts, or, you know, there was an accident. It's one of the two. I think I know what it is. I mean, everything lines up. We're talking to Christina. We know about the strangle piece of sex, and you were using that with the escort, and things went bad. And again, you panicked. We've all panicked, you know. I mean, I was a young Army officer, 25 years old in Iraq, and my soldier got blown in half. And at first I was kind of panicking, like, how do I deal with this? You know, we all go through those situations. I mean, anybody in your situation would have done that. And again, who are you going to call? You don't have a lifeline, right? Who are you going to call? Hey, this is what happened.
Especially back then. What are you going to do? Call a dealer? Nobody's going to help you with that. They're going to think it's too much heat and tell you to fuck off. We get that. Again, we're not talking to a serial killer. We're not talking to some nefarious person. I mean, what? Your life has been on track. You got derailed just a little bit. You're back on track. We're not talking to a career criminal here, right?
No.
No.
People look at my record and say otherwise, but I haven't been in any trouble in a long fucking time.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. We're not talking about a serial killer here, a habitual murderer, right?
No.
No. I don't think that's what happened here. We've had that car in our impound since 2015. Hasn't moved. Granted, yeah. Pull DNA from anything. Touch DNA especially. 75% of people secrete their DNA through their sweat. So if they touch something, their DNA is on it. DNA on the back of a taillight from a car that we were told you wanted to get rid of and got rid of because there'd been a body in the trunk is a different thing. And I mean, it's all good and well. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. You're building a wall out of playing cards, bro. It all doesn't make sense until that last piece goes in and it makes sense. It doesn't look like something that makes sense from where we sit. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, would you?
According to what you guys say, whatever evidence you have or whatever, according to that, no. Doesn't make sense that I'm here.
So, it makes sense to us that you're here. What I can't wrap my head around is why. The constant, I don't know. I mean, we're there. We know. You're the only one in the world who seems to act like this doesn't make sense. thing you're too.
Sounds like you've changed your ways, though, man. Sounds like you've cleaned yourself up. Are you out with escorts now?
No.
And you're not on drugs?
No.
And you're working?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're going in the right direction, but you're hanging on to this thing, man. You're hanging on tight. This will just be one of those things where you just release it, and again, you walk out of here with your chin up going, man, I feel a lot better. That's how these things go, man. I told you I've been doing this for a long time. Guys, just, again, we've all made mistakes, and you just say, here's what happened, man. I made a mistake. You're going to walk out of here feeling so much better. You are so tight. Your legs are crossed, your hands are crossed. You're just hanging on to this, man, and you just need to have some freedom again in your life. You need to feel, kind of like you got rid of this backpack that's on your back. It's weighing down on you, man. I mean, I can see it. And we want to help you. We want to walk with you through this and get this off your back. Just trying to figure out, is this something you were doing deliberately or is this a mistake? And everything points to it was an accident.
Only thing I know right now is based on what you guys are telling me, my next step is I need to talk to a lawyer. That's all I know. Sounds like I'm about to get charged with a fucking murder or something that I didn't do, so I need a lawyer.
All right. Sit tight. Same as before, you can eat something.
Following this interview, Joel Hollendorfer was arrested on an unrelated charge, and while he sat in custody, investigators went back to his parents' property and asked him one more time to identify every spot where animals had been buried on the land. And there was one spot in particular that Joel described as nothing more than a dry patch with a slight rise in the ground, insisting nothing was buried there. His mother told a very different story, describing that exact same spot as the grave of her favorite horse, Milo. And that small contradiction was all investigators needed to go back with a warrant and start digging. And on February 8, 2022, buried beneath that ground alongside a horse carcass, wrapped in black plastic bags and covered in lime, they finally found Kara Nichols. Joel was charged with second-degree murder and tampering with physical evidence. And when the trial began in June of 2023, the jury deliberated for roughly 5 hours before returning a verdict that devastated Kara's family. Not guilty of murder, but guilty of the far lesser charge of manslaughter, a decision that stunned everyone who had followed the case for over a decade. The defense had leaned heavily on Kara's history with drugs and escorting, framing her death as a possible accident rather than an intentional killing. And it worked just enough to keep Joel from a life sentence, but not enough to set him free entirely, because the judge, weighing Joel's long criminal history as a habitual offender, handed down an enhanced sentence of 24 years in prison. For Kara's family, it will never feel like enough, but after 10 years of silence, of false leads, of closed doors and cold trails, at least the man who had buried their daughter under a horse grave and lied about it for a decade will spend the next 2 decades behind bars. What are your thoughts on this story? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.